Hello, 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 Call It Crew.
Well, hello.
Jess and I are sitting here
On top of the world.
On top of the world in Chicago. We are here for a con, which is a convention, right? Where we get to meet fans. And we found out that there was another podcast happening in Chicago at the same time as us. And that was Scrubbing In. And I know you guys have heard of this podcast because they love Grey's Anatomy. I've been on the podcast. And to be honest, right now, I'm peeing my pants a little bit because they are so professional and experts. And they're sitting right in front of me. I'm staring at them. And we are like the fetus babies that don't really know what we're doing. I know.
Diaper wearing babies. Just
So-
a bunch of crybabies.
So Tanya and Becca, can you say hello to the Call It Crew?
Hello. We are so honored to be here.
Truly.
Like truly, the honor is ours.
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think it's ours. I think it's a co-honor.
I think it's a
co-honor.
co-honor, but I do think since our podcast titled name is in reference to Grey's Anatomy, this
Yeah.
is
This is like-
absolutely an honor for us.
We literally, it's like royalty. Like this is actually like the actual royalty, and it's actually really nice. We didn't bring. We have pillows that are like the size of like a bean with your faces on them. We didn't
Yeah.
bring them here, so you don't have the pleasure of seeing yours. but-
Yeah.
She's seen
They
her.
exist. They're a situation.
Camilla likes a crown, so I'm glad you mentioned royalty here.
Yeah. Wait, can we cheers? Because
gonna
I'm honestly
cheers.
so excited. Cheers.
Pop the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Okay, I'm excited because usually I'm on your podcast and you ask me questions and we get to ask you guys questions today.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right. Okay.
Wait, I sort of actually forgot the component, which is like besties and besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that's where we start. Is like
Okay.
the friendship component.
And are y'all seeing like the hair, the similarities?
Yeah,
in,
the
like,
hair color, the hair color.
the brunette blonde.
It's like looking at our younger selves.
I feel like we're the same age.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
40?
Okay. You're 40?
Uh-huh.
She said it like it was a
Thanks.
bad thing.
No,
40?
I know. I love it.
40?
I love it when people are shocked. I'm like, oh my God, thanks.
Oh, let's be honest. If they weren't shocked, you'd be pissed. Don't let's not lie.
I really.
Obviously.
Let's not lie about it.
Obviously.
Okay, so you
yes.
guys are best friends. Where did you first meet?
We met at an iHeart Festival in Vegas.
Yes.
She was not super warm to me.
Oh my God. Becca. Okay, first of all, no, she's so dramatic. And she
Wait,
always
no, this
tells
is our
this-
story a little bit too because we did not get along.
Okay, no.
Okay.
I
That's not
didn't
yours.
like
That's
her
not the
so
story.
much.
Yeah, you didn't like her?
She didn't really know it.
Oh,
I did
wow.
know. She made it very obvious, you guys.
So the problem is she always likes to say this, but like when I love people, like I get really excited to see them. And she was with two people that I already had known. I didn't know her. So I was really excited to see the people that she was with. And I was like, nice to you, I thought.
Fine, you're fine.
Tepid.
Tepid. That's
Lukewarm.
exactly. I would say she was tepid.
Neither
But
warm
then,
nor cold.
but then
You were
as,
confused.
as fate would have it, we ended up, she ended up moving into the apartment literally right next door to mine. So we shared a wall. And that's when everything like flipped for us because we just became like inseparable at that point. Like we literally shared a wall. For
That's
how
a little
many-
intimate, I
that.
feel like.
It sure was, yeah. And you know what? Some of us have some spatial boundaries that others don't.
Ooh.
And I would be like waking up. You know, she is on a morning radio show, so she gets up early, comes home while I'm still waking up, basically.
Yeah.
And she would just turn the knob, like ready to come in, and she'd like knock until I answered. Why is your door locked? I'm like, well, I was sleeping, so that's why.
She acts like this, but
You're
she
the space
loves
invader.
it.
She
Yeah,
loves
she
it.
loves
Okay.
it.
You
She
didn't have a
loves-
key?
No, I know.
Oh.
You don't have a key.
Actually, I think y'all are similar.
Yeah, and then the two of you. Yeah, yeah.
No boundaries in these friendships needed.
Boundaries.
Yeah, like she would like get me ready
boundaries.
for like dates and stuff. Like she would like do my hair and like do my makeup for me, and like it was like a really sweet time.
Yeah.
Can
it
you
was fun.
imagine if we had that time in our lives together?
You would not let me do your makeup.
I actually would because you do that really pretty thing with your eyes, and I
A
just
little
have
cat eye.
never ever been able to do that.
I can do it.
I do it for you. Tragique. Oh, that you. Wing look on.
If
Yeah.
you guys like when you guys are like old, do you want houses side by side then? To like no.
There was an instant no. Instant
No, I don't
Instant
think
from
that's.
Becca.
I don't think we need that. No, like a close drive away is good.
We're too far away from each other right
You
now.
moved.
I know.
I moved to you and you moved away.
I know.
Yeah.
I moved in with my fiance.
Oh, yeah.
But we're a little bit too far. We're about 10 to 11 minute drive. I would prefer to be
Far?
I'd
It's
prefer
really
closer.
it's good for me personally. Like it's a perfect distance. So I'm not trying to like. She's like talking about moving to the valley, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's where? How close to me?
How close?
She acts like this, but
She
Yeah,
loves it.
she
she
really
loves
wants
it.
to be close.
Yeah.
She loves
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I get
Okay. When we walked in, we were blinded by the ring on Tanya's finger.
I saw it almost immediately.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's like a magpie. She's like a magpie.
I'm like, shiny?
Shining.
Is
You
this sparkly?
are engaged. You were last time I saw you were not engaged.
Correct.
Wait, so when did you get engaged?
So I've actually been engaged for a year, but
We need the story.
the engagement story.
Yes, we love it.
Well, we were dating for 3 years before we got engaged.
Wow.
I know. It's a long time for like
Yeah.
later in your life. But my fiance
Later in your life. Go ahead, yeah.
well, no, I mean like a lot of my friends got married in their 20s, like
In
early
the autumn
20s.
of your life. When you found love. What are you talking about?
I feel like a lot of people get married early on in their 20s, and I'm like in my later 30s. So, I mean, right, later on in life. But I was like ready for it. Like after the first year, I was like, I'm ready for it. And he was divorced with kids, and so he was kind of like on the slower path.
Yeah.
So we met in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful. He did it on like a Sunday. I was like not expecting it at all. He had all of our like closest friends and our family, and like Becca was there and she was filming. So it was obviously a surprise for me. So I didn't know that they were all there. And Becca was basically like filming everybody and kind of like their excitement of it, like before it came out. And so like getting to see those videos is so special because I didn't know what was going on, and getting to like see all their conversations, and they were all like helping him decide like where to set it up. And she was in charge of the speaker for the music, and like he just gave everybody a job, and it was just like really, really sweet.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. And
Yeah.
he has how many kids?
2 kids, 10 and 12
Okay.
boys.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Becca,
Yeah.
did you find it stressful, like keeping that secret? Because I hate secrets.
I love secrets.
You do.
I love secrets.
You're a good.
I'm a good
so
secret keeper.
bad.
Yeah, she's like a vault. If
She's
you
like
ever
a
have
vault.
to,
We went to
yeah.
have dinner, I think, a few days before, like a week before, and she was talking about plans or something, and I was so casual. I was just like, just don't make.
Oh my god, I
make
break a
mistake.
sweat. I break. Did you really have no idea? Did anyone do the whole like, why don't you go get your nails done today?
No, because I've
She
been
always had them.
yeah,
done for
I was
like a year.
preparing. I've been preparing for like a year. Like I was
how did
ready.
you get the
I wore
engagement
white
now?
for a year before we got engaged, so I was like ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So funny.
So there was no need to like prepare me. I was like ready
ready.
for it. Yeah.
You're ready to go.
But I was surprised the day of because it was like after a Jonas Brothers concert. It was a Sunday. I was hungover. Like it was so weird.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
perfect.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't even. He'd packed me makeup because basically what it is, he handed me, we did like a couples massage, but they said like the room was broken or whatever. So they put me in a room by myself. After my massage, they handed me a note that was written by him saying like, the time it's been a long time coming. Your dress and your makeup is in your locker. I'm waiting for you out on the terrace. So like then I knew. So I just started like bawling and like
What?
yeah. So I knew at that point like we were getting engaged, and I looked at my massage therapist and I was like, I'm getting engaged, and I like hugged her and like I just started bawling, and then I had all my makeup but I couldn't even put it on because I was just like crying so hard.
This is like a movie.
Crazy. But also, it's like he asked, like, I'm tripping on, he kind of asked you without even being there because he said what
Yeah.
it was going to be.
Yeah. It literally was like just one sentence. It was like, it's been a long time coming. Your dress and your makeup are in your locker.
This is
I'm
so
waiting for you in the terrace. And I was like,
This
Oh,
is
wow.
I would say
Wow.
yes. If I open a random locker and that was the note, and I'm like, sorry, man.
yeah. Yeah.
The dress is here and I'm on the terrace.
Yeah.
Terrace. Oh my.
I know.
That's deep.
Yeah. It was cute. It was really cute.
And someone is officiating, we heard, Rumors and Schmoomers.
Yes. So I work on the morning show On Air with Ryan Seacrest, and he
Oh, I know.
he loves my fiance. They like really get along. Really, he loves my fiance. They like really get along really well. And I feel like it's really symbolic because I lived out so much of like my single life on the air and on the morning show.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's going to like officiate for us is like very sentimental and kind of like full circle.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever said this on the podcast before,
What is
but
it?
I listened to the morning show every morning
yeah.
on my way to Grace.
No.
For like
We all
a good
did.
chunk of, I mean, I what undid me was because I was pregnant so many times on the show, and it's an emotional roller coaster. You go through a lot of different, feelings
Yeah,
and stuff there.
imagine.
And it was Ryan's Roses that just undid me. I was like, I can't listen to one more horrible person in the world. I just can't do it. I can't. It just makes me just lose my faith in humanity.
Yeah.
But it did. It was Ryan's Roses that put me over the edge. And, but I listened to it all the time.
Oh, wow.
Which seems so crazy to me now because I think now my habits are I get in and I've got my Spotify playlist and I just go straight to that.
Yeah.
And now I really did. I listened to all the banter, all the things.
So like when I started with him, I'd just broken up with this guy that I thought I was going to marry. And so it was like this whole whirlwind of like my life got turned upside down. I started dating again. Like it was my whole single life was literally documented on the morning show. And so it's like, it's going to be like a full circle moment to have him like officiate and kind of like end that chapter for me, you know?
What do you think Ryan's going to get you as your wedding present?
You know,
presence.
He can afford anything.
his presence is our present.
No, come on.
What do
Yeah.
you need?
Well, no, but okay, all right. I guess that's the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to imagine that Ryan's going to get you like a
house.
like a white Rolls Royce.
A house in the valley.
A house,
next to you.
yeah.
That would be the dream, honestly.
No, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. And it's so funny because we were actually talking about that. I was like, I don't want anybody coming to the wedding to like give us a gift. Like, I'm like, I don't need a toaster from like my best friends that are coming to my
Oh,
wedding.
shoot. I had a special design.
Yeah.
I felt that way. I put like, no, I didn't have a registry. I was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You guys coming. Okay. I seriously regret that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait, sorry, you regret not having a registry?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
She went to remember.
Jessica loves. Okay. No, wait, back up. We have to tell her.
not having a registry because what would a registry do?
Okay.
Tell people what to get you.
Yeah. Hang on.
People got you weird stuff.
No, you guys, let me give you some context. Jessica has a registry for her birthday.
For her birthday.
Not every year.
Oh wow,
Jessica, this is amazing.
I
Or
referenced
is it
a period
terrible?
of time. And well, we know how you feel about it, but let the women speak. Because I just heard someone ramp up to this is amazing.
It's
I'm
amazingly-
imagining she thinks it's amazing.
Okay.
But again, let's go back to your story. How a registry is
Hang
helpful.
on. I wanted
for
to ask
people
something really quick.
who care about you. To
You
buy
get invited to
things.
Jessica's birthday. There's a link to a registry for her
That's my
present.
dream.
What?
I hate having to think about what someone's going to like for a gift.
And imagine if they were all different price points.
Perfect. I mean, the fact that you take the time.
I would-
you take the time to do that is
I don't know what I would do. If somebody sent me a link to their registry for their birthday, I'd be like,
No.
hey, I'm giving you
Hop
coal.
off.
Totally getting cool.
I know.
I did not have a registry for my wedding. I regretted it because all of my kitchen stuff is crap. It's stuff that I had from like my 20s and I could have done with like a nice toaster or like cooking stuff. I still don't have stuff.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
now we know. Now we know. Now
I might change my mind on
She's
the
got
registry.
a birthday coming up in December.
I might start doing this because, like, that just, I felt excited hearing about that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't say, like, specifics, if it was like, here's stores
Suggestions.
that I love.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to get me from that.
Yes.
I love that.
Okay, Becca,
Yeah.
do we hear wedding bells for you?
Oh,
How are you feeling?
I feel great about my relationship, but we've been together for 6 years.
I know.
But we just officially moved in together last month. Actually, a couple months ago, but she left and worked for 3 months in Canada. So, yeah. So, she's asked me like 3 times every day if I want
because
to
she
get
told
married.
me she's gonna keep it a secret. She's like, I'm not gonna tell anybody. So now I feel like I have to ask her every day.
No,
about
like you'll
proposing?
know when
Yeah.
it happens. I'm just
Would
saying I
you
won't tell
propose?
anybody. I think it would eventually be both of us propose, but I don't know. I would imagine I would
How
go
do you
first.
time that though?
You just
Do you have the discussion beforehand of like, hey, this is going to be the day that we propose to each other?
no.
So romantic.
Well, she just said no. Wait, but she said
no
she just
registry
said
for that.
you both proposed.
I think
No, like one does it, and then like
couple months later.
yeah,
Oh,
the other one,
that's
you know,
cute.
it gets,
Okay,
so that
okay.
we both get to wear, you know, the ring.
Okay.
But no, we are really just adjusting to living together. But I know, like, I want to be with her forever. I'm not like a wedding. Like, I'm not like, oh, I dreamed of my wedding my whole life.
You were on The Bachelor.
Listen, I know, and I'm dating a woman now. A lot has changed.
It's true. There's room to evolve.
There's room. And
Do your true
I grew
self.
up in the South, and I think there was the expectation of like you get married young, you have
Yeah.
kids. And so
Yeah.
that was always like what I just assumed I was going to do. So The Bachelor felt very much unnatural in the sense of how it was done. But I was like, okay, nothing, the apps aren't working. Let's see if this works 2 times. And
Yeah.
it didn't. And then I met her, I think 2 years after that.
Would you ever go back and watch old episodes?
Oh no, like watching, we'll talk about this later, but watching yourself on a screen like that is the most uncomfortable thing to me.
Well, that's so much worse. We play
Yeah,
characters.
I mean, we had other people's words, so we could.
Yeah,
just
that's
like
true.
watching yourself
The
in
screen
general,
is like a
like-
little like, well, it wasn't me.
Yeah, right.
I actually find it strangely enough, given what we're doing right now, I find it hard to listen to myself.
Yes, I had to
Oh,
get over
yeah.
that. I really had to
hear
get over
yourself
that.
on a voicemail, and you'd be like, "Who is that?
Yeah.
Not
Is
me.
that how I sound?"
Yeah.
No, so yeah, that's what that I did that.
Wait, so you because I had to be reminded that you were on The Bachelor. So I have a question. Given that you have real life experience being on a show like that, do you feel like you feel differently, or what is your feeling and or impression of shows that catch fire like Love Island?
Oh.
Like do you watch it? Or did you watch it?
I'm not into Love Island.
Are there any reality shows that you're into?
So my girlfriend loves The Bachelor. Like that I never watched before I was on it. And then when I met her, she tried to act like she didn't watch my seasons. I found out like a few months into our relationship
Yeah.
that she was like a diehard fan.
She didn't tell her.
that would have
amazing.
killed,
She's like,
it.
Yeah. She's like, I think I started watching around Rachel Lindsay's season, which was like a few after mine. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I found like an old, like when you start dating someone, you stalk their whole Instagram. I went back far.
Yeah.
And she did a literal Instagram video where she's almost like, it was almost like my conversation with one of the Bachelors verbatim.
No.
Because I was a virgin. I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. And it was basically like my conversation that she was acting out. And I was like, this was the year that I was on The Bachelor. So you clearly were watching.
I realize that I have to catch up here, but you went on The Bachelor as a virgin.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I grew up
That
very
was the
Christian.
big thing.
That was my
like
storyline.
her storyline.
Okay, so I
yes.
didn't want it to be because I knew as soon as they found out about that was going to be my storyline.
Yeah.
There was another girl in there who was a virgin. She was crying because she had just told him, and she was like, I don't know how he received
Ashley,
that.
right?
Ashley,
Yeah.
yeah. And I go, oh, I'm a virgin too. And like in my mind, I said it, and I was like, I have a microphone and like 7 cameras on me right
And
now.
you're like, damn it.
I was trying to not do that. And immediately a producer was like, Becca, come here. Interview.
Yeah.
So that became like my storyline.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When you're on the
Wow.
show, do you have to wear a mic from the moment you wake up?
They kind of like would get so annoyed with me because I would wait till they had to come and find me to be like, Becca, you have to put a microphone on because it was like on your back all day. It was so
No,
uncomfortable.
I know they are uncomfortable. Yeah.
How old were you when you on the first time?
26. But I grew up very conservative, very Christian.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I honestly think it may have been because I was more into women. But in my mind, it was easier to be like,
Yeah, right.
it's religious, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, I would get in the pool because you could take your mic off when you were swimming.
Oh.
But it was
You just stay in there.
freezing.
They'd be like, "Where's Becca?"
I'd
In the
be like,
pool.
shit.
They would put like a boom
They would
over
try,
you
yeah.
guys.
We were
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
hot
Chase
tub and
you
stuff.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically though, and then I hated the fact that I had it when I was going to the bath. I just like I felt it's so invasive.
No, super invasive.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
reality shows are.
I know. But she loves, speaking of like reality shows, she's obsessed with Love Island. And so
you are.
I watched
You were
20
obsessed?
Oh,
Yeah.
Tanya's obsessed.
cannot get enough. Like when I tell you, like, but not the USA, only UK.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
So UK, they're like
yeah, next level.
next level.
yeah.
It's weird because they're all interacting. They're dating the same people, but they're doing it so respectfully.
Yeah.
And there's still drama, but they deal with it in such like a respectful, mature manner.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. So it's like so interesting to watch.
Because I
Whereas
saw one episode of the American version and I was like,
This last season?
I swore off.
and because I had heard my 13-year-old talking with her friends, because we're a little bit like, I'm very wary of the social media and kids and all that stuff. So I kind of toe that line. And they don't have social media. So they, she just got Snapchat and she gets like 20 minutes a day. And they don't
she's
have Instagram.
13?
And she's 13.
Okay.
She just got a phone. And so I think she's figured out different little workarounds.
right. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
She had friends.
Like YouTube shorts. And
I love
stuff.
you, Eve. And she was talking to some friends about it, and it's like whether she would be at someone else's house and maybe they don't have it on, or I think you can find everything on YouTube.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, it was put into my consciousness, and then I thought, well, I should see like some piece of this before I'm saying how horrible it is, or whatever, And so I watched one episode of it. Like I wanted to like burn my eyeballs out. this cannot be watched by my 13-year-old child.
So tell your 13-year-old to watch the UK version.
Great. Okay, thank you. I have an
No,
alternative
it's
for
much
you.
more sophisticated.
Great.
Yeah.
Mannered.
Yeah.
Mannered. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of reality, I've just gotten her started on the Mormon.
I was just asking her
the
about
Secret
that.
Lives of Mormon
Have you
Wives. So
started
I
it?
just started it. I'm only one episode in, so don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it.
People love it. People are going crazy over it.
Obsessed
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
But everyone was obsessed with Love Island USA.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
also
This
didn't
last
get
season
into
of
it.
Love
the
Island
last- yeah,
USA
no.
was
Didn't see it.
top tier television. When I tell
So
you,
you liked it.
Oh my! Oh, so I swore off USA. I was like, I will never watch Love Island USA ever. Like, never. And then UK this last season, I was watching it and it was really bad. And I was like, I need my fix in the summer.
Yeah.
So I heard everybody was liking the USA, so I went over to the USA and it was phenomenal. So this
it.
last season, hats off. They deserve some awards for this last season because it was any dating reality show. I'm like there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Love is
it.
Blind. Love is Blind. UK, Mexico, USA. I've seen them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't get enough. She can't get enough.
anywhere. Can we talk about Taylor Swift?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So we
Becca's
have-
best friend.
Yes. So we have, before we do podcasts, we get notes on things. And I was like, yeah, I know these girls. And I was like, wait a tick. Taylor Swift knew about you and Haley before anybody else did?
Not before anybody else, but before my parents.
How?
This is actually such a crazy story. So,
We love it.
my girlfriend Haley, she's a singer, and she was on tour she was opening for Panic at the Disco at the time. And she was on the same tour schedule kind of as Taylor. And so Taylor reached out and asked if she wanted to perform with her during her Reputation tour. And so Haley was like really respected Taylor, but didn't know like a ton of her music or anything, just very like respected her as an artist. But she knew I was like obsessed with Taylor. And she's like, oh, they just called and we're going to be in Boston at the same time. And they want me to come out and perform Curious with her during the concert. And I was like, I'm flying out. Tell me the date. When is this happening? So for context, we met in April, basically started dating as soon as we met. She went on tour and then this was in July. So however many months.
Okay.
3.
All my friends knew about us. My sisters lived with me at the time, my 2 younger sisters. And so I fly out there and she goes on stage, performs. I'm in like the friends and family section with Mama Swift. Like, I'm just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, Andrea.
I'm videoing my girlfriend on stage with Taylor Swift. I'm like, this is so epic, So we go back to Haley's green room. Haley and her mom go to Taylor's dressing room with Taylor and her mom, and they're chatting. I'm in Haley's green room. I'm looking at videos. I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And my mom texted me, and she was like, she had known about Haley, like Haley's name, but she was
Okay.
like, do you like Haley more than a friend?
At the same time?
On that night?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking
What
through my
tipped
footage.
her off that night?
I don't know. I guess because she knew. I think I had told her, like, I'm going to Boston.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Haley's performing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So my mom texts me that. I'm like staring at my phone, and Haley's security. So I'm going to take you to her dressing room. So like I go in with the most heavy feeling because I'm like, I'm about to meet my favorite celebrity ever. And I have to come out to my mom tonight. Like, it was just this like crazy balance. I go in there.
So crazy.
I think we talked like Bachelor in Paradise or something. It was like, you've met her.
Yeah.
She's
the best.
Normal.
She's so like, intentional. Like when she's having a conversation, it's very like, you're the person she's talking to.
Absolutely.
She doesn't care what's going on. And then, I had to go on Haley's bus and have a very hard conversation with my mom.
Isn't that crazy?
That's an insane story.
Yeah.
And I'm very jealous.
I feel like there's so many different layers to that. There had to have been. We talk about that. I'm a little more woo woo. I'm a little more like the like destiny of it. The like the things happen right when they're meant to happen and all that stuff. For that to happen, because to have something that's so hard sitting side by side to something that was so fantastic and like a dream come true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible, right? Yeah. That you got to feel those two things and maybe even use some of the energy from I'm with my most favorite artist in the world. And I think that there's like an emotional contagion that happens between people. So like that bolstering and that confidence and that like joy got to come and be in your story of some doing something that you thought was gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Crazy. Crazy.
Intense. I love that.
I have a question about just podcasting.
Okay.
Because we are the podcast babies compared to you guys. You guys are like the varsity, the seniors. What are some tips for us to be better tips and tricks for us to be better at our jobs?
You're such a nerd.
What are some things that you guys learned along the way?
I feel like
I wish I knew it from day one when I started this podcast. I wish I knew this.
I feel like we've been doing it for 7 years and there's going to be people in your ear that tell you to do it this way or do this way or talk to this person or how, I always feel like our gut is always right on things. Like if we're having fun and we're liking the people that we're having on, the podcast is great. If we're not having fun and it's not someone that we want to talk to, it's not enjoyable. So I think like just listen to your gut and your intuition. I think that's like my biggest thing.
And also I feel like my most vulnerable episodes where I left the recording being like, oh God, do I need them to take that out or edit, but have decided to leave it in have been the most like impactful moments of the podcast, like our vulnerable moments where we cry. It's just, I think that's what people listen to podcasts for, especially when it's a relationship in terms of a friendship and they want to know you. There's this element of vulnerability with podcasts that people gravitate towards because they essentially are listening. And obviously y'all are celebrities and people have y'all on this, like y'all are their favorite TV show ever. So there is a difference in that, but they're listening because they love you guys and they want to hear about your lives and it doesn't have to be so polished. My girlfriend has a really hard time with social media, for instance, because she's a traditional actress and artist. So the social media of it all is intimidating to her because it's very casual in the sense that it's not filtered, it's not edited, whereas traditional creative people are used to that needing like it to be perfect and look a certain way. And so I think that's the thing that I've noticed is when we're the most authentic and raw and just like vulnerable with our feelings and what we're doing.
Yeah. That's like if we mess something up and we're like, should we do it over? And then we're like, no, keep it in. We'll just keep it all in.
Yeah.
We'll just let it go.
But I listen to y'all's podcast and I feel like y'all do y'all's banter. So it's when you have natural chemistry with someone.
Yeah, it's huge.
It makes the biggest difference.
No, that's...
I'm giving her a little shoulder shimmy. If you look on camera. That's my little shoulder shimmy.
No, I think we're finding that too. Something that Jessica... is getting a little...
Gave her a wink too.
We need a
run. What's happening?
No, I think something that Jess and I have talked about before we started the pod was that we are so used as actors, to being polished in interviews, making sure we don't say the wrong thing, quote unquote, and, giving an answer, buttoning it, moving on. And this was initially kind of intimidating and exciting all at the same time because we were like, okay, we're going to have to get vulnerable, and that's not really our MO normally.
Well, I think that for when you're an actor, you are usually representing a project when you're interviewed or you're in front of camera or being heard.
Yes.
And when you're on a podcast, you're representing yourself. And so that transition from I'm representing someone else and how they would like for this project to be represented.
Right.
And I'm representing myself and I need to trust. For me, like the biggest thing has been that equal parts trust and connection. Mm-hmm. Which is, because we're all looking for that. Even when you're just listening and you're listening in on, listening to both of you talk, it's like there's this incredible dynamic knowing and belonging and trust and all that stuff. And you hear it when you're just talking. And I think that people want to tune into. And I think that in the beginning for us, it's been so new that you sort of like, you're still doing the razzle dazzle on some level. Like, what is the thing? Like, what's going to be entertaining or what's going to be this?
Right.
And I think that it's wild to think that in this medium, you kind of like the less entertaining that you try to be, the better.
I think the thing is, I think like that's the thing. Like the people that listen to your podcast are like listening for you, and they will come with you and they will do life with you and they're there for you. And so it's like, I think that's been like, it's such a beautiful relationship because it's like you meet these people, like when we did some of our live shows, it's like you meet these people and they've been invested and they like know so much of you and your life and your story and they relate to things. And at the end of the day, like human connection, we all, no matter what, celebrity, non-celebrity, we all deal with the same stuff. So it's like you find people that are kind of in similar life phases. Like I get women that DM me about dating divorced dads with kids and how do you navigate that? And, like all these different things that they connect with you on. And I think that's the thing is it's like, that's what resonates. That's what sticks. Those are the people that are going to stick with you. So if you just go with your gut and like always stay true to that, that's what's going to hold strong,
I was also going to say one of my favorite episodes, one of our listeners' favorite episode is the story about we were at a nail salon. I was just going to go into the vulnerability.
Thank you so much.
And Tanya got up from the nail salon and farted, and it like kept going. And it's like we retold the story
for 20 minutes.
Yeah, like it just not 20 minutes.
No, it was
a 20-minute fart.
Yeah, every time I stepped, it was like it just kept farting.
Like she kept walking, and it kept. I was like
I was in this phase of life where I was chewing sugar-free gum, like it was like my job, and I didn't know the impact that it was going to have on my GI system. And we were getting
Becca got that impact.
Yeah.
I felt the impact and so did our listeners in a different way.
It was like one of our most listened to podcasts. And it was like literally about me farting in a nail salon.
I'm just talking about vulnerability here. Raw, real, true life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask a question that has nothing to do with that. I want to talk about if you have kissed a woman since your Grey's Anatomy days, but you're going to have to do an answer on Scrubbing In.
Juicy. Did you see how my eyes were locked on hers? And I was like, what is going to come out of her mouth next?
And I want to know the answer.
Yeah, I want to know the answer.
So we're going to switch over. We're going to transition into Scrubbing In.
Scrubbing In for part 2.